All right, intro to construction class. Wanted to kind of give you an update of what's going on here in the shop. I came in and kind of wanted to get to this a little bit earlier, but it didn't happen until today. What I was hoping to do was do a little bit of work outside, but you can kind of see, yep, it's raining. So indoors we go. So before everybody left, we got a bunch of boards, 2x4s marked for the bird's mouth cuts, and you can see some of them got started. You can see right here we've got that little guy cut. It's at a 412, and we went over marking that, and then what I'm going to do today is try to notch those out. Got a whole another stack of 2x4s over there that got the ends, and got some nice 412 cuts on the end, but we've got nothing anywhere over here, so we're going to walk through that a little bit later. Miracles happened. We found a second saw. I don't know where this one came from. It was missing since January, and lo and behold, exactly February, 2 months later, it showed up. So this is the one that we started off the semester with. You can notice that basically they look pretty much exactly the same, structurally at least, if there is such a thing. Same size blade. You can see that the bases are pretty much the same. The housing is about the same. I haven't looked at the motor size on it, but obviously the biggest difference is that one has the old school, it's an 18-volt lithium ion. That's a great transition piece when DeWalt was using their old 18-volt NiCad heavy suckers, those batteries, and they were switching over to the lithium ion. They thought they were going to have a smooth transition, and I don't know all the history on that, but eventually they went to these bigger 20 volts that slide in and out that way. These come in and out that way, and we're going to go from there. So what I did is here I have one of the boards marked up on the table saw here. We're going to kind of remind everybody how we went through this, because this is where the math counts. So I grabbed the tablet. There you go, nice piece of 2x4. So as we talked about last week, we just did our straight out Pythagorean theorem. This is going on a shed that's got a 12-foot width on it. So this is marked here as a triangle as 1/2 of our rafter that we're going to make, and obviously we're going to have another one that kind of comes, and that's going to go on the other side. So we're going to cut a board that goes this way, and we're going to cut a board that goes on this side. And what we need to figure out is, where do we set the mark for the bird's mouth on this end? So this one's pretty straightforward because it's the roof pitch we established is at a 412, and our 412 pitch, so it's a 4-foot or 4-inch rise to a 12-inch run. So it works out pretty simple, since our run is going to be 6 feet, so our rise is going to be 2 feet. So then we just take, and I just did some mental math, 2 squared and 6 squared is, that's your 2 squared, there's your 6 squared, and then start doing our algebra, I guess. 40 squared. I took some liberties in here. Basically it amounts to 6 1/3, and 1/3 of a foot is 4 inches. So our distance from the peak to the outside, because we have it's going to be 12 foot wide from the outside of the wall to the outside of the wall, from the point here to the outside where the bird's mouth goes is going to be 6'4". And then what I ended up doing was I added 1/2 inch because we're going to put the sheeting on the outside. So we're going to see if I can run this long tape measure by one hand. So let's come over here. So I'm going to take it on this end, and as we watched in the video before school was out, I'm going to try to hook it right about there. So this would be the inside, right? So this would be, I guess if that kind of works, that's roughly a 412 pitch. If you imagine that this is flat here, there's your rise, there's your run, and then here's your 412 pitch. Anywho, so I'm going to come around this side, and hopefully we can kind of see how we got this all marked out. if that side stays hooked. And so at the bottom there, we're real close. It's kind of off a little bit because I'm not hooked right on the edge, but 6'4", and then so that'd be at 76 inches. And then the mark is we're going to have basically a 1/2 inch sheeting on the outside of that. So what I'm going to do is I had before I had one of these. This is going to be awesome today because I have 2 saws. One I can have set up for cutting. I can have it set at 18.5 degrees to cut this, and then I can have the other saw set up to do a nice deep straight, and then I'll come in from this side, and I kind of overshot it there. That was my little oops-a-daisy there, but eventually it worked out pretty well. It's going to come through. So what my plan is for today is, in this video, is just kind of walk you through that, and I'll come back and hopefully I'll have this whole stack right here, all of them cut, and I'll go on to maybe either really mark those or get these nailed together and braced. So that's our first video for today, and hopefully that all makes sense so you have some idea how it's going on, even if you're not here. Thanks.